Well, what's up, guys? It's now Corbeck. Alright, it's gonna be getting weird getting used to saying that, since, you know, the name change and everything. But yeah, I changed my name. Yeah. Well, I changed. Well, I guess now we can take the time to discuss my channel and what I did. And anyway, I'm here with. Here, guys, are your voices shared?
I think so.
I think so.
Alright, just check, because I don't want to seem like I'm talking to random voices in my head. Yeah. Chris, you want... Alright. Alright. Welcome. This is a broadcast podcast thing. I don't know what to call this, but whatever. It's going to be a podcast with gameplay, so we're going to call it that. And I'm here with I'm here with my cousin and a really good friend of mine. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
You may know one voice is Navy Wolf. And we're just doing a podcast. Alright then. So, anyway, back to what I was starting off with. I decided to change my channel name because, first of all, Gaming Second Amendment, it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. So, I thought maybe...
Made it short and sweet.
Yes, I made it a little shorter of a name. But this is a sort of name that sort of stuck with me for a little bit. Well, I could say it stuck with a lot of people for a little bit, or anybody who had a computer class growing up in school. Anywho, but yeah, I changed my name finally. And so what I plan to do, I want to yeah. I want to upload at least once every 2 weeks.
The iciest gaze cannot deter me.
But why Corbeck?
Corbeck. Hey, how do you pronounce it?
Corbeck.
Corbeck. Okay.
Yeah. I changed it. Yeah. It was something short and sweet, and it was a nickname I already had. I mean, Notepad is something, but it's not really much of. It's not really much of something. It's not really something that's like stuck with me, you know.
Man. That died after a little.
Yeah, it died after a while. Alright, well, that's enough for really, well, that's enough for me so far. That just answers my channel, or the questions with my channel, anyway. So anything else going on in your mind? I would answer questions, but no one's asked me any.
Yeah, we talk about shit.
This is true.
Yeah.
We are constantly playing.
I mean, if I have a question for you, I'll fucking Snapchat.
I am beside myself with embarrassment.
Well, I mean, the whole point of this is just to start conversation.
I'm okay with this podcast. Out of everything that we've done.
Well, this is as close to a podcast we're gonna get it. Because the last time I did this was unintentionally, when I tried to do Friday the 13th, on Friday the 13th of October, and we actually could not play because the servers were completely filled to the brim, and we actually couldn't play because like the servers were so full. It was honestly ridiculous. If you guys actually want to wind up tuning into that podcast, you guys can go ahead. There's not much going on. Just a fair warning.
So you're talking about your YouTube. I'm still thinking about getting back, or at least starting more into mine. I mean, I've had mine for years, and I haven't really done anything with it.
I've had mine for 4 years. This is gonna be by November, it'll be my 5th year of doing YouTube, and I've only gotten 74 subscribers over the years.
Wow.
I haven't gotten very far,
All is in order. Ready to sally forth.
but
I've only been doing this for 3 years, I think. Yeah, 3 years ago is when I posted
It had
my
to be-
first video.
it hasn't been 3 years. I feel like it's been longer than
It
that
has.
since.
It was my Clash of Clans video. Go subscribe to Navy Wolf.
Yeah, subscribe to Navy Wolf. He's a part of this podcast too, you know.
It's not
But-
the Navy Wolf that first comes up.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
the
It's a wolf holding a
cartoon.
SOG knife.
Just have him put have him put your channel in the description. It's just easier.
Alright, yeah, I'll probably go back and edit the channel link to the description. And Chris, if you give me your channel link, I'll edit yours into it here. You guys can start subscribing to him because he'll wind up posting a little bit more, maybe. And
Well, I don't have anything posted on mine yet. I want to eventually. I just
Well,
haven't had the initiative to.
here, have you linked your channel to your place? Have you linked your channel, YouTube
yeah,
channel?
PlayStation?
Yeah, to your PlayStation.
Yeah.
I shall harry our enemies.
So once you do that, you can stream straight to YouTube, and
I'll get to it eventually.
yeah, and that'll
All is in order.
and that'll work out in your favor in the future. It most certainly helped me.
By the way, speaking of not dead YouTube channels like mine, obviously, I'm about to upload a video that I had footage of that we made 2 months ago. Me and Corbeck.
Yeah, core back now. Yeah.
Go check it out. It was a game of Uplink on Black Ops 3.
Well,
it
is my
was
voice
actually
gonna be
pretty
shared? Is my voice actually there in the clip, or?
Yes, it's there.
Okay, good. All right. I was gonna say,
Myself with embarrassment.
because if it's gonna be like anything like the past,
I really.
yeah. 'Cause for
Nothing.
whatever reason, during his past few videos, my voice hasn't really been shared, and
Nothing.
it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, I made this video months and months and months and months and months ago. It's not that good. It's just good. I'm not telling you what my thing is. I will never tell you what it is. Never. No.
Well,
Never.
If I am to start, I don't know what kind of channel I want to do. Like, if I want to start
No,
video games or
never.
just...
Well,
Because
see what I like. See what I'm doing. I'm doing a little bit of everything. Chris, I'm just doing a little bit of everything. I got
Show me the
some
source of your
Final
favorite
Fantasy, I got Call of Duty, I have Garden Warfare.
You have a few killing floors
Yeah, I have a few killing floors.
with me in it.
Yeah. I even have Final Fantasy Record Keeper posted on my channel.
Well, honestly, I might, if we start doing these podcasts, I might just start, I just might start doing,
I've seen people doing podcasts every now and then. I think like it might be fun. I'll give this a try.
How much off the light? There you go. Love
Well, normally what other people do, they'll have like a blank screen or not even no screen at all.
We
in
could
the
have
test
gameplay
stuff.
running.
Yeah.
we'll just have, just upload.
I mean, a popular podcast that I watch, the Solitary Confinement podcast. I'm gonna give them credit. I'm just giving them credit. I'm just mentioning them because they're kind of a popular one. It's 3 YouTubers just playing It's one YouTube playing solitaire, and the other 2 guys are just there talking with them. And it's all over like solitaire gameplay.
There's one that I watch. It's just random gameplay of whatever game he's playing that comes to mind. And you just talk through it. I
Yeah.
don't know. when the time comes, once I think of what I want to do with my channel, eventually, then I'll go from there. I mean, right now I'm playing God of War. Like, if I do end up doing it, just like what we're doing now, I might just put what we're doing now.
Yeah. I feel like this could be a thing. I feel like we could start something like this. Just keep doing this every now and then. But I guess a traditional podcast, I mean, we should really have a conversation topic. Or actually, I guess we already do. It's YouTube. Alright, so I guess, yeah.
My thanks.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of groups going on about YouTube. I mean, I've been watching a lot of other channels talk about like what's going on with YouTube and the issues with demonetization or
personally, I don't like. I kind of don't like how YouTube like doing the monetization. I mean, I know it's like giving people jobs, but it's mostly just appealing to people who just sit around on their ass all day. And honestly, as someone who actually seen like the workforce firsthand, like I feel like that's not like the actual way to go in life. It's not just sitting on your ass all day. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows it, but like
they don't apply it.
Yeah. I kind of feel like the money that. I mean, I don't mean to sound like an asshole.
Unless that's your job. Because some people, that's basically their job, to sit on their butts. Like if you're like a programmer or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
You're just sitting all day on a computer. Unless it's your job.
I don't know. I'm just sort of against YouTube just sort of paying a lot of the other famous YouTubers, like take Danos Gaming or PewDiePie, for instance. Like, just sort of having them get paid to sit on their ass while they play video games. I mean, I don't know. There's something about that. It's just not right. It just sort of feels like that YouTube overall is just becoming a business rather than a website that you can just post random shit on. Because that's what it used to be. I still remember those glory days of YouTube.
But there are issues with that in itself. There are people, especially one of the biggest issues with YouTube right now is the copyright system, or the copy striking, and the demonetization. Like, since it is the beginning of the year, there are a lot of smaller channels between like 40,000 subscribers that are getting demonetized for no reason and are losing everything. And it is absolutely out of control. It's been an issue going on for a few years, and that's kind of why I never really wanted to get into YouTube, just because of the issues with it.
Well,
and everything being taken completely out of context. Let's be honest. The way it is in this day and age, nothing is how it should be.
Well, if they get like demonetized or copyright stricken, don't they send you like an email or something? I don't know.
Yeah, they'll tell you that you've been copy striked, but they don't. Like, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Like, they don't tell you, but they don't tell you why.
They'll tell you, like the reason behind it. Like, oh, you're getting copy strike. You can fight it, but you can only do anything about it if the person that copy striked you reverses it. Otherwise, they will get all the revenue. So it's either the person will, if they're copy striking you anyways, it's something they're doing, obviously. But unless they will arguably just be like, oh yeah, this was my mistake, I shouldn't have done it, then it will go away. But who's just going to do that? I mean, if they're copy striking, they obviously want to get Julian,
he got, our buddy Julian, he got a copyright strike because he was doing gameplay of a game, and when he got to the credits, there was a song that apparently got copyrighted, but there was nothing he could do about it. There was like no really setting like to sort of change it or anything, so he was pretty much backed up against a corner, just hands tied behind his back. There's nothing he could do about it, and they still got him.
Yeah, the only way that would have been reversed is if he challenged it and then the person who copyright striked him reversed it. Otherwise, they just get, like I said, not only the revenue, but, you know, a strike on it, you know? It's not his... There's nothing he could have done. Like, he could have been completely in the right or the wrong, it doesn't matter. It's just how YouTube is, and that's, like I said, one of the biggest reasons why I stayed away from it and I haven't gotten into it. I wanted to for years, but that's one of the biggest reasons, is that there are issues that are severely present that need to be taken care of.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if that's the case, then the worst they should do is just to take down the video and maybe suspend the account for a period of time.
But like I said, it's most of the time it's just the way the algorithm is working right now, and it's just how YouTube is set up.
And that's another thing. The YouTube algorithm.
The algorithm is an issue. YouTube needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I know. I honestly despise it. I despise the YouTube algorithm.
I mean, the only people that really benefit from it are obviously a lot of the bigger channels, which, I know, we're talking like we are bigger channels than what we are. I mean, hell, I haven't even started a channel, but it is, there are issues.
I am almost not a channel.
I'm just saying, there are enough YouTubers out there that have addressed this issue, that have talked about this issue, and that is very presently and very frequently seen, but it's not addressed because of the algorithm itself. It's a lot, just like a lot of the other social media sites, you know, people will address it, but the site itself will not address it. They do not care enough to change it because, you know, they're making money as it is, and they don't want to change it.
It seems I misjudged.
You know, it's like putting a Band-Aid on something that requires more than a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It's just how it works.
You break your leg. Here's a little Band-Aid. Yeah, go back to work. Like,
yeah, it's not going to fix the problem.
I see exactly what you're saying.
It's just out of sight, out of mind, and you know, it is like, oh yeah, enough people will mention it and bring it up, it will change, but that's very much not the case.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going on quite a long time now, and nothing's being done.
Like I said, the glory days of YouTube.
Well, I don't really think there ever has been glory days on it.
I've seen some good days of YouTube. I mean, not enough. I mean, clearly not enough. I clearly didn't have like a channel or anything before to actually know and understand how it worked before. But there were some nicer glory days of YouTube. I'm talking like back when you just literally pretty much post whatever you want. That's pretty much how it was. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it firsthand back when I was young, because I used to stumble upon all sorts of full movies. I used to sort of some full movies, TV shows, songs, all without anybody giving the main artist credit. They just say, "Hey, this is the They wouldn't even give any sort of credit to the original artist or anything. They just post the song, and that'd be the end of it."
Yeah. Like, one of us could be playing music just for background or noise right now, and we'll get copy strike the hell out of it, you know? It's what it is. No matter how much we might want to change it, it's just how it is. And like I said, not only has it ruined a lot of channels because of it, and also YouTube won't address it, but it also keeps a lot of people from YouTube itself. Like I said, I've wanted to get into it for a while, but I just never had the initiative to, because I know all the issues going on with it. And granted, I don't know everything. I'm not saying I do, it's just how it is.
You shall do.
You know?
Yeah.
Without having to dig, there are present issues.
Well, maybe if that's gonna be the case, and if we know exactly what to do, if we can figure out what we can do to fix this, then maybe we can get other smaller channels to sort of team up and see our cause, and maybe give us a hand.
Well, I mean,
Like, kind of, maybe,
yeah, kind of on
like
paper
a
that
worker
does sound like
union.
a good idea. Well, that is a good idea ultimately, but you also have to remember, a lot of the big channels like PewDiePie and T-Series and shit like that, they have addressed this issue several times. You know, and they are partnered with YouTube itself, especially with channels partnered with YouTube. And if they're addressing this issue several times, and you know nothing's being done, you know, they're not going to change anything about it, even with a small channel. I mean, especially with, if you do look at the two biggest YouTubers right now, which is PewDiePie and T-Series, combined, I think it's a little over 16 million viewers right there. It doesn't matter how many small channels you get. That's not, probably nowhere to get near those numbers.
I'm just trying to be optimistic here.
Optimism is always a good thing, but
You have to be optimistic, but also be realistic at the same time.
Yeah.
Seize this opportunity.
it's just the way things are, unfortunately. I mean, like, it's just like that, and I hate to change topics, but I mean, that's just how shit goes. It's like in school. You know, enough has been mentioned about it, but nothing changes. It's just like work, you know? Problems
Yeah.
are addressed, nothing changes. Politics, a lot of, especially recently with the government shutdown, everybody knows what the problem is. Everybody knows what needs to happen, but does it happen? No. That's just how things are run today. And yes, it does need to be changed. Yeah, if enough people bring it up, it probably will, but that's what I consider. Have, you know, a lot of people talk about it, but still nothing happens. But enough of the boring topics.
It's only as boring as other people seem to take it. What may be boring to some people might be intriguing for others. I feel like what we would
Boring
really
might not
need
have
to
been the
get this
correct word.
going is maybe even if we wind up getting popular enough some way, somehow, by any sort of sheer chance of a miracle, having one of these bigger YouTubers be able to talk with us about this.
Like I said, boring might have been the wrong word. Depressing probably could have been a little bit better.
Formal. It's an issue. Formal. It's an issue that's going on and something that needs to be talked about. But a lot of people aren't going to really like it because they know it won't really benefit them. Or
And
actually,
also-
or at least they don't know how it'll benefit them.
Or a lot of people do know about the issue and they're just tired of hearing about it. Like what I said a little bit earlier about the government shutdown, like enough people heard about it. I mean, granted, it's kind of hard not to hear about it. Just people were tired of it. You know what needed to be happening. They heard about it every single day. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you know me. You tell me a topic, I don't shut up about it. But
Yeah. But speaking of politics, I don't really know much about politics. I don't really know much about it at all. But for part of it, I feel like there's both a good. I feel like nowadays there's a good side and a bad side to pretty much everything that has been going on. As far
Arrogance was your downfall.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can just describe it vaguely as a good and bad side. It's just
I emerged from that a better
lesser
side.
of two evils. Because, I mean, no matter what, you're going to disagree with one, or you're going to agree with the other. Or, you know,
Or just hate them both.
yeah.
okay, well all right. Well then let's take something that's been a meme. Let's take something like the Wall, for instance. Like let's take the Wall. We got what are the intentions? Let's start with the intentions of the Wall.
Keep people out.
To help immigration,
Yeah.
keep people out, ultimately save quote-unquote American jobs.
But then I feel like another thing is not really much about keeping them. Well, it's not really much about that. Like I feel like
Keeping
I feel
Americans
like
safe.
yeah, but if you want to like make room for jobs, we need people who actually are willing to be able to do these jobs, not kill themselves after like 2 months.
No, I get that, but also, I feel like one of the bigger issues is the drug trafficking from Mexico.
Well, yeah, there is that.
The
but,
trucks
I mean,
coming in to the country.
Is a giant wall gonna be like the best solution to this, or no?
No, it's just like putting a law in effect. You know, it's like, should you do this? No, but are there going to be people who do it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not really going to change anything. You know, yeah, it might buffen up border security for a little bit, but there's going to be people who get through it. You know, it's going to work. It's going to seem like a great idea for a little bit, and then, you know, it's just going to, like I said, just be another law that, oh shit, you know, oh, someone got through. Oh well, that means we need to buffen up border security. You know, like I will say I agree with it and I disagree with it. I do like the idea behind it, you know, keeping America safe
Seize this opportunity.
from said like drugs. And yes, there are things that we do need to take care of as our own country. One of the biggest things are the homeless, like the veterans that we have, just the homeless population in countries like Southern California, in Texas, and a lot of the other southern states. There's a huge populace of homeless people, and our government shouldn't have to pay for people coming into this country, you know, giving them homes, giving them food and supplies, while we don't even take care of our own people. You know? And that, I feel like that's a lot of people's issue, is that there, like I said, there is a lot of people who don't have homes, who don't have food, who can't afford food. And yet we're just giving people from other countries like, hey, come here to the US, we'll give you a job, we'll give you a place to stay, and we'll give you food. You know? Why can't we do that to our own people? So I do agree with it, like we do need to take care of ourselves first. Absolutely.
Maybe
But
another
yeah,
thing
if
we
you look
could
at
do.
human decency.
Yeah, or another thing we could do, like maybe to solve the homeless issue, is go back to like a simple bartering system. Like, hey, if you work for me and do this, this, and this, we will provide you with just housing. Like, rather than actual payment, we'll provide you with the food and the housing, but you just have to work for us. That way, it's giving them all basic necessities. Like,
I mean, that could be argued as just basic human rights. You know, everybody deserves food in their stomach, clothes on their back, and a roof over their head.
yeah, like this is basic. Like, if you already had that, then money is not much of an issue because you're only going for basic human needs.
Yeah.
Rather
But why
than
should
just,
we give that to? But why should we be giving that to people who are illegally coming into our country
and I see,
instead of people who are already here? that should already have.
Yeah, I
these
get you. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I
I
understand,
see.
like, their country might be horrible, you know, they might already have a lot of issues, they might be escaping war, they might be escaping drugs or some, you know, there's a number of issues that you can try to get out of, you know, a war-torn country or something.
I'm gonna sound like an asshole for saying this, but that's their problem. Part of me feels like that the reason these other countries are so bad is because of the people that are already residing in them. The people in those countries are kind of like, personality-wise, they're not the best. They're not the best because they're getting involved in all these like huge drug lord contraband, whatever the fuck it's called, sort of things.
But that could be seen as just ignorance on our part because, you know, not everyone has the same opportunities, you know, not everyone.
And I'm not doubting that. What I'm trying to get at is like the fact that they're getting involved in this sort of thing is overpowering what little hope other people have in them, you know?
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that could be seen as it, though.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, you've been quiet. You're in this too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you've been quiet. Why don't you say something about this?
This kind of stuff? Regarding all the political stuff going on,
Your defeat shall be swift and
it's
absolute.
very hard to take a side when it comes to that, just because both sides are very flawed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I just try to stay away from it. Like, when I have to get into it, I do. But it's very hard to take a side.
That was the way I was for a while. But
it's kind of like a lesser of two evils thing, you know?
Yeah,
it's
but
not really
eventually,
picking a side, it's just how shit is.
Yeah, but eventually it just got to it just got to a point where in my life, like this is something I'm gonna have to do. This is something I'm gonna have to be a part of
side, like, when
for a
you
while.
Vote, like,
I mean, we are coming into age where in our lives. I mean, we're going to be 20,
yeah,
21.
I realize this now. I've tried to avoid it for so long. I've always thought of being independent.
Which side is that, Rumi?
But it's like
you vote Hillary, Trump, or PewDiePie.
yes.
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't let T-Series win.
Yes. See, we're talking about politics and stuff, but the real issue is...
Yes, these are the real issues going on in the world. PewDiePie versus T-Series.
T-Series.
Hey, I was watching a little bit of that earlier today. T-Series is only 400,000 subscribers, not even away from
It's going up then, because it used to be 300 and some. I'm gonna look at it right now. Let's see the live.
He's catching up really quick.
It is. But the gap's getting further. Like, last time I checked, oh, it went down again. It's 312 now.
Like, what kind? Like, who is T-Series? I honestly, outside of, you know, being so close to Pewds, I've never heard of this man. Honestly, like, who the hell is he? Like, what kind of channel does he own? Honestly,
it's something about
Isn't T-Series is a bunch of stupid music videos or something?
Yeah, it is.
I have no idea. Like I said, outside of everything that's going on, I've never heard of this channel.
I haven't either. It just kind of came up just out of nowhere. And it's gonna pass PewDiePie, and that'll be it.
And I feel like once someone's like, oh yeah, he's getting high in subscribers, he's close to Pewds. That's the only reason I think he gained so many followers, is that someone recognized him as someone who had a lot of followers and was coming close to PewDiePie. And I mean, there's a lot of speculation now. A lot of his shit is like-botted. So on the gaming subject, what do you guys? How many games are you guys doing right now?
I am playing Dissidia, Final Fantasy, and King. Oh, geez.
I am not playing anything. I'm just sitting. I'm on my phone.
All is in order.
That's another thing. What about this generation of children that we have?
Oh God.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That
It's come down to this. It's come down to this.
well, okay. Honestly, it's not really our generation per se.
Yeah,
It's
it is
our
not.
generation and the generation before us. We were born, the three of us, we were born in 99 and 98. You know, you can't blame us 100%. You absolutely cannot. You have to blame our parents as well and our grandparents, because you know not all of us were raised that way, but some of us were raised to take advantage of anything that we can. You know, you can't just be like, oh, it's the kid's fault for being such a pussy. Their parents had to influence it some way, or their grandparents, or they've seen it somewhere. It's not just the kid's fault, and the blame obviously is being thrown every which way.
I emerge from a better soldier.
Honestly, it just can't blame one person. It's not just our generation. It's our parents' generation and our grandparents' generation. You know, it's going to the store once and, you know, parents just taking advantage of a rule that could be just bent just the right way so you could take advantage of it. Just like YouTube, you know? You get something, you make up something, it might be the stupidest little thing, but you copyright strike it, and just because of the flaw in YouTube's system, you can take all the revenue from it, and you can get it down. You know, it's just taking advantage of just the littlest thing that you can, just to get ahead in life. Someone had to have come up with it, and exploited it for it to become such an issue. And honestly, I feel like it's a lot of older people doing that opposed to kids, but since we're kids, I feel like a lot of the blame just falls on us.
Yeah.
I want to hear your guys' opinions. I mean, I'm
Well,
kind of just taking...
Personally, I could not agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. And I'm a man who personally believes in karma and tries to have good karma. And part of that is just the urge, is just fighting the urge to just exploit certain things. Like, and again, like you said, exploitation is a problem. But people see it as just a means for benefits for themselves. I feel like I might be going in too deep when I say this, but I feel like it might be going back to a whole survival of the fittest sort of deal, where anybody will do any sort of thing to survive in this world. Like that's sort of like that's sort of just like a natural instinct that everybody has.
Well, it's not really survival, it's just taking advantage.
It's about money.
You know, it's about money and
It's
greed
all
and just...
about money. That's
And in this
the
day
world
and this day and age,
this day and age.
yeah, this day and age is how you gotta survive. You gotta be able to pay yourself to live. You know?
Well, it's not only that, it's just exploiting other people's, you know, success, trying to turn it into your own. A lot of it, it's just to do it because you can. At least that's where a lot of it I've heard of, it's just because you can.
And now that there's more technology and stuff, there's more opportunities to try to make money. It's,
Yeah.
kids are more spoiled.
Oh, absolutely.
That doesn't help either. Like, I got my first phone at 11 years old. Kids at 5 years old have iPhones.
Yeah, I know. Like that's when it just gets ridiculous. Like, why
Well-
should a 5-year-old have like an iPhone X Plus, whatever it's called, the phone that looks like Tony Stark's computer? Why
Well,
should 5-year-olds have
arguably
this
now-
technology? They should not.
That was the
My 2-year-old cousin, who's just 2 in October, he has a fucking iPhone, and he watches everything that he does is on an iPhone. He's taught basic math, basic
I mean,
learning skills from an iPhone. And yeah,
I
you
feel-
could argue, be like, oh, that's just the parents, they shouldn't have it. But unfortunately, in today's day and age, you know, everything is revolved on smartphones and iPads and some kind of technology, you know? If, you know, we could be like, oh, I'm not giving my kids a phone until they're, you know, 17 or something. Which, granted, I didn't have my first cell phone until I was 17.
I shall be the first to breach your
Unfortunately, nowadays, if you think that way, I mean, your kid might fall behind, which, you're like, oh yeah, it's just a phone, they can't fall that far behind. Well, unfortunately, that's just how it is.
like, and after seeing what some people, with some children with this technology, like what they tend to do and how some of them tend to be, you can't just rely on one little sort of thing, because the moment you get that thing taken away from you, you're gonna get to a point of like, I can't survive in the world without this thing. And honestly, I feel like that's the biggest problem.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Kids need to grow away from that. Like, oh god, you have your phone taken away for 5 minutes, so you call. And I have seen situations like this where the kid would call CPS on their parents because, oh god forbid, their phone was taken away from them. And that's child abuse. Which, it's just so stupid at this point. It's just entitlement and just arrogance and just ignorance. And every kind of ants you can think of, it's just taking advantage of it, man. Like growing up,
right.
if I did something wrong, I'd get my ass spanked, you know? I'd be put in time out. I did, God, the only technology I was maybe 6 when I got my first piece of technology, and that was a Game Boy or a GameCube. I don't remember which one was my first.
Same.
You know, I did that taken away
Same.
for a month.
It was a Game Boy. It was just a little Game Boy. Like the
Yeah,
worst
I get that
punishment
taken
I've
away
got,
for a
the worst
month.
punishment I've got, like related to that, is that being taken away for 2 weeks.
Yeah, my worst punishment was, I think, when I was younger, when I was learning to ride a bike, I accidentally ran into my grandfather's car with my bike and I put a dent in it and got my shit taken away for a month. But you know what? Instead of whining like a little bitch, I grew from it. I played outside. You know?
Yeah.
I'd go outside and I'd do a baseball or a football with my dad. I'd play with
I
the
wasn't really much
dogs.
into sports. I was really more into like playing around with trees and climbing trees and whatnot. That's what I really enjoyed most about playing outside. But
Oh,
I
God.
see exactly where you're going with. And looking back on it now, it wasn't until I found out that PlayStation 3 was a thing that, like, I really, really got into video games. Like when the
Yeah, I
PlayStation,
agree.
yeah, once I got to the PlayStation 3. Like when I did the
Yeah, we started
PlayStation 2,
growing up.
there were only very few times I played by myself.
Well,
when I got
PlayStation
the-
2, I mean, that was like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot.
No, that was PlayStation 1. PlayStation 2 was more along the lines of taking whatever
Like-
kids movie came out and turning that into a game.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
well, my PlayStation 2 days, I remember it was a lot of Killzone, the original like Resident Evils and Left 4 Dead and shit like that. Those were the good days. You know, those were the originals. A lot of stuff that you see coming back. Like, I never got into PlayStation until my dad, who had a PS3 himself.
My brother showed me everything.
Yeah. Your brother showed me
Really?
everything too.
Yeah.
I don't have siblings, so
The first thing I played on PlayStation 3 was Zombies with his brother.
the first thing I played on PS3 was Resistance. You remember that game? It was like an alien invasion.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah. Me and my dad used to hook the PS2 up to the computer. And we would play that on the big computer screen.
Oh my god. Speaking of the computer, I just remembered something. Oh my god. There was a game for the computer that I remember. Me, my brother, and my two other cousins. There's this game. It was like a clay animated space shooter called Platypus. And we would try to get so far in that game. Like the furthest we got to the second to last level. I would kill to find that game and play it, beat it, and complete it. Oh my god.
I'm sure in this day and age you can look it up and find a copy of it somewhere.
I probably could. This was a Wild Tactic game, so this was like really old. If you remember Wild Tactic for the computers.
Do you guys actually remember going on to the internet to play games? Like going on an actual website?
Yup.
Addicting games.
Yup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Addicting
Yeah, those Flash games like that. You hear Adobe Flash Player shutting down, so those games like that will be erased. But
really,
yes, but the legacy lives on. For the best will live on, and the rest will just be forgotten. Actually, the rest of them won't see the light of day, but they'll never be forgotten. I should say. Like, what was a fun stupid game? Potty Racers, where you have to deck out a porta potty and fly off a ramp to try to get to the furthest distance possible.
How about the original games that you'd wait all year to be able to get, and then, it'd be on like a little floppy disk, and then you'd actually have to put into the computer itself to play.
Yeah.
God. Like, I remember damn, this will show our age, but you guys remember The Land Before Time?
The Land Before Time, of course I do.
Bears and the Berenstain Bears.
Berenstein! I remember Berenstein! Goddamn Mandela effect.
Yep.
I remember it,
Berenstein. Small floppy disk, you put that into the computer itself, and that's how you play.
Yep.
Oh my god, speaking of which, my dad still has his old Atari 800.
Yep.
That had games like that on it. Like,
yeah, that's just how it goes.
The first video game I remember watching, the first video game I ever watched was my mom play Final Fantasy III on the Super Nintendo when I was like maybe 2 or 3 years old. I was honestly a little scared and intrigued at the same time.
The first game I ever watched my parents play was my dad play the original Pong.
Oh my god, Pong! Fun little fact. That originated from when the first generation of like battleships and whatnot, or something along those lines, would use use sonars to play tennis.
Huh.
Yeah, when there's like really nothing to do, they play tennis with the sonars. It's cool. Yeah, it's a neat little thing.
Yeah, when I was a kid, both my parents, I shouldn't say that they despise video games, but neither of them like them. So I think I got into video games through my cousins, and my uncle really liked games, and my dad's employee actually gave me PlayStation 1. That was my first real console. I remember I played Tekken 3, and X-Men Arena Battles or something. I can't remember the name of the game. I'm gonna
You
try
hear
to
the
look it
Tekken
up.
series is finally done? Tekken 7 was the
Really?
last Tekken.
I remember one of my first PS3 or PS1 games was the old Crash Bandicoot, Bandicoot racing games.
Bandicoot.
Do you remember
What
the
even
Crash
is a Bandicoot?
Do you remember the old racing games from Crash?
Yeah, Crash Racing.
Those games
One of
were
those
fun.
racing games I remember Diddy Kong Racing. I didn't really remember Crash Racing. I remember Diddy Kong Racing.
Yep. How about Banjo-Kazooie?
Banjo-Kazooie, though, that's a classic.
They need to remaster that somehow.
Well, who owns it? So what company made Banjo-Kazooie, and who owns it?
Honestly, I don't know who owns the rights to it. If you want the truth.
Well, do you at least know what company made Banjo-Kazooie?
That's what I was just saying. Like, I don't know who owns the rights, because I'm assuming the company would still own the rights.
I feel like it has something to do with, like, Microsoft and Xbox. They have, like, a lot of those old ones. They had Conker's Bad for Day.
So,
Yeah. I guess it would be possible. So, you see what they did for Crash Bandicoot? They released it for all consoles, and originally they were owned by Sony.
really?
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Yes,
It's
I
now
didn't
available
know.
on Switch. It's available everywhere.
It's available on the Switch? Really?
Yeah, it's available on the Switch and the Xbox One.
Weird.
But, I mean, it did start on the PlayStation 4, but yeah, now it's available for Switch and Xbox One. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of companies that are doing that, like Bethesda with Skyrim. I mean, that was a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC release, but, you know, they released the rights to, like, PS4, Xbox One, and still, Switch. They released a version of it for the phone.
They really
That's
did it
like
for
one of those
phones?
companies that just... It's like a smaller version for it, but I mean, that's just one of the companies that, you know, gave the rights to its game to whatever kind of advertising they can give it, you know?
Yeah.
Let us not stop.
Plus, I mean, like, they're one of the bigger modding communities just because they want people to advertise their game. And I feel like a lot more companies should do shit like that because, it's not just like, oh yeah, they're trying to exploit our hard work for it. It's people taking what you have done, not saying what you've done is bad, it's just them making it better and more playable for a wider audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, you could play a game for so long before it's either run through its cycle, or you just burn out and there's nothing left to do.
And that's what DLC's for.
Well, even that gets old. I mean, if you look at some of the games we played, like Killing Floor, no matter what DLCs you release, it's the same shit over and over and over again. DLCs in that game are just a new map and maybe a new concept. But it's the same concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what COD turned into. Every single game, it's the same game, just different war.
It's just reskin.
Yep. Basically.
Especially like World at War. Look how heavily modded that game became. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And that game was
Out of
very
ideas.
freaking successful.
They finally
That
ran
game
out
was
of
very successful.
Yeah. Take Final Fantasy. Each Final Fantasy game is different. Or at least each one of them has a different story. Some of them share the same game mechanics as far as battling, items, magic, bosses, weaknesses, elements. But for the most part, they are different, and not just because each game takes place in a different universe, but
still, you know, it's still the same game mechanics, but just it's improved upon, it's built upon, and it's changed. It's not the same exact thing over and over.
yeah.
I mean, granted, you can say that for gaming as a whole. You know, it's you can get like racing games, you get shooting games, you get first-person RPGs. I mean, arguably, you can say, oh, all games are the same. You know,
Yeah.
All shooting games can technically be considered the same damn thing. You have a gun, pretty damn sure R2. You know how to play one shooting game, you pretty much know how to play the next. R2 is to shoot. You know, aiming mechanics pretty damn the same. Not much that can change. It's just, but people are still gonna play it, even though mechanics are pretty close. I mean, yeah, there might be a little bit, little change here and there, but
Going to get what? What do you mean lucky? What the
Yeah.
heck does that mean? Lucky at what? Are you coming back?
Place for children.
Okay.
That was commendable.
you know what I mean, Chris?
Alright.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Don't get stuck.
Like God of War, I'm playing God of War right now. I mean, the mechanic, they
Good luck,
completely
Rumi. Don't
revamped
get
this.
stuck.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
Actually,
the
no,
old.
first rule is wear a hat and don't get stuck. And make sure you wear your hat the right way, not upside down.
I mean, God of War used to be so much different until they remastered it. Now, well, they remastered it for Ascension, where they added multiplayer. And multiplayer for God of War was absolutely insane. I fucking love it. That's probably hands down one of my favorite games of all time. And then they remastered it again for the
Who is it?
PS4. It became
Who is it?
amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, oh, another example. Super Smash Brothers. Because Super Smash Brothers went through one heck of an evolution. It was more, but like, I feel like it was more symbolic than an actual evolution. Although mechanics didn't change very much. Like, it was still the same fighting game it's been ever since it started on the Nintendo 64. But over time, you did see some improvements. Like, some characters got balanced, others unbalanced. The introduction of new items, the final Smash Ball.
Well, that's a little bit different. That is still the same idea, just with smaller changes, that like nerfs and debuffs and balance changes.
Check for holes, Rumi. Check for
That
holes.
is pretty much the same thing over and over again. With like what I was saying, like with God of War, like
Lift weights, get
the mechanics
AIDS.
used to be one thing. Like every time you would get a new God of War game, it was the same exact idea. So like if you knew how to play the one, like if you knew how to play the first one, you would know how to play the second and third one and fourth one with absolutely
Get
no
a pump
difference.
before you go.
But games where you actually have
Use
to
some pull-ups.
take a step back and learn how to play, completely different, because everything has changed. Those are the games you really need
I've
to
been doing them every day before I take a shower.
really need to look into.
Or just play anything on the NES, where for the most part it doesn't even tell you how to play the game. It just dumps you right into it. You got to figure it out on your own. Take Super Mario for instance,
Oh yeah.
or Mega Man. Mega Man's a better example.
You know how you used to figure out how to play that shit besides just playing the game? Opening up the game manual.
Yes. I mean, I think a lot of the games don't even have the game manuals anymore.
Oh, you want to hear
It-
something funny?
What?
No, you're a roommate, sorry. But I'll say something funny you have. Red Dead Redemption 2 has a game manual, and I actually got it for Christmas with the game.
Is it the
No,
game
not like the
manual,
big
like
manual,
inside the
but
game,
like a
inside the
straight-up
game
game
case,
manual.
Oh,
or
you mean actually? I thought you meant like an actual like
yeah,
manual.
the actual
Like, I got, like,
instruction
freaking
manual
book.
that goes inside of a game case.
No, I haven't seen that one of those in years.
Exactly.
They stopped doing that with the GameCube.
Did they really?
Or not the GameCube, the Game Boy. I feel that was the last time
Did
I
they
seen
really?
it. Or DS.
The last time I
The DS
seen it,
Lite.
I still seen it back on like the PlayStation 3.
Really? Last time I
Yeah.
saw a straight up game manual was the the DS Lite.
Even the 3DS still had the game manuals.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but like the thick ones that like explained the mechanics, that explained the controls, that gave you like the history lessons. And
Yeah,
like,
now I know what you're going on. Yes.
the
Yeah.
ones
you?
that straight up came with the
Are
game.
you? I don't believe you. You're leaving me. You ain't coming back. You're probably gonna get stuck there. Aha! Aha! Bye, roommate. Aha!
And then, you know, there are some games that will literally never change, like Pokemon. See,
Yes.
actually, I can't say that. Same
Like-
exact mechanic.
They'll
only thing that's changed-
add a few things every now and then, but deep down, it's always gonna be the same sort of game.
Yep. I mean, even the mechanics. If you played one, you literally can play every other one. The only one that you can argue, besides obviously the spin-off games were Mystery Dungeon and
Pokemon Go.
Rangers, Pokemon Go, is like the only mainstream game that's different is Let's Go. You know, because because like I said, the other ones are just spin-off games. Let's Go is a straight-up cool game.
It's pretty.
Which
I
isn't
feel like Let's Go is meant to combine both Pokemon Go and the regular Pokemon games. So it's supposed like to introduce like people who only played Pokemon Go. You take someone who only played
also, they
Pokemon
needed
Go.
to change. Well, one of the things is that they needed to modernize from the Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah.
They wanted to switch up the systems, you know, because I heard that 3DS was stopping making games this year. It's either this year or next year. There's not 3DS games are not going to be made anymore.
Yeah.
It's all moving over to the Switch, and that's what they need to do. Like, yeah, the DS has run its cycle.
Yeah. It had a good
And
run.
and
When it started in 2012, that's 6 years. It had a nice run. I mean, PlayStation
no,
2.
I-
Take PlayStation 2. They didn't stop their online services until 2012. And the last game that they had that had online services was Final Fantasy 11. The MMO.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 stood strong. It had probably the longest run out there. Actually, maybe not two. The game, talk about the original Game Boy, which was still being manufactured even after the GameCube was released.
yeah.
Yeah. Lasted a while.
But it's still.
Not to mention, it was a very universal thing, the Game Boy, because there's so much you could do with it. There was a sewing machine add-on. There was a fishing add-on. There were so many add-ons to it. It's ridiculous.
The Wii had a lot of add-ons too.
Oh yes, the Wii did have a lot of add-ons, and honestly, I wish I kind of miss those days when the consoles would have all these add-ons. The NES had the gun. Let's see, and there was a Super Scope too. The mats. Remember? Okay. Did you ever have Extreme Outdoor Adventure for the Wii? I think it was called that. It's active.
Active Outdoor Adventure, somewhere along those lines. It's called that. Where you had this mat with all the different buttons on the mat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I
Yeah.
think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like, now that was something. Alright. What time is it? I think this podcast has gone on for. I think this podcast has gone on for long enough. Well, to those of you who actually do watch this to the end, I hope you kind of enjoyed this at least. This is the first time I did something like this, so don't expect too much. I'll probably do this again one day. As far as any other thing that I'm probably gonna try to do again, or I mean, I'm referring to Misfits. As far as that, I haven't just found any short enough clips to make it to a video. Mostly just clips that are long enough to be its own thing. Alright, well, in the meantime, good night, guys. It is, actually, good morning, because it's 2:30 in the morning right now. Well, see y'all later.